Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday morning. It's a brand new week. It's the last week of January. So let's make it count, right? Let's make it count. Let's do what we can to make it count. And I'm just going to invite you to join me in a cup of coffee this morning and have a seat. We're going to get started. Monday's just knocking at the door. We need to get out the door. We need to get going. But let's have a cup of coffee first. After all, this is Coffee with Wes, and my name is Wes, and I serve as the interim pastor at the First Baptist Church of Cutler. And this week, we're going to be discussing Psalm 40. Psalm 40, as we look at the attitude of our worship. Oh, that old word, attitude. What's your attitude, right? So here's the thing. We can find joy in our worship when we think about all the good things that God has done in our life. Just take a moment, think of all the good things that God has done in your life. And you say, well, I don't know what God has done. Well, if it's good, God has done it. That's the basis for our little time together today. So in Psalm 40, verses 1 through 5, we find here King David is praising God because the Lord had waited patiently for him. The Lord heard his cry. The Lord brought him up from a desolate pit, from the miry clay, and the Lord put a new song in his mouth so that he may sing a praise to the Lord. So if God has done that for David, God can do it for you. He can do it for you today. And just waiting patiently. Sometimes the Lord waits patiently for us, but I think here David was waiting patiently for the Lord. And, you may be able to recall it being in your own desolate pit, right? You're just being swallowed up, if you will, by the things that are going on around you, and you find yourself waiting for God to deliver you from this stronghold. And, you're asking the Lord to deliver you, and there you are, and you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting. And, you may be there currently. Maybe right now you are in the miry clay. You are in the desolate pit. You are weighed down, and you're waiting on the Lord to do something to help you, to encourage you, to bring you up, to bring you out. Well, let me read for you today Psalm 40, verses 1 through 5, and just take these words in as I read them. And again, David is speaking, and he's waiting for the Lord to act. Verse 1, I waited patiently for the Lord to help me, and he turned to me, and he heard my cry. He lifted me up out of the pit of despair, out of the mud and the mire. And he set my feet on solid ground and steadied me as I walked along. He has given me a new song to sing, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see what he has done and be amazed, and they will put their trust in the Lord. Oh, the joys of those who trust the Lord, who have no confidence in the proud or those who worship idols. O Lord my God, you have performed many wonders for us. Your plans for us are too numerous to list. You have no equal. If I tried to recite all your wonderful deeds, I would never come to the end of them. And isn't that the truth? If we were to sit down and recite or write down all that God has brought us through, all that God has done for us, then we would be writing forever and ever. So here's the parting thought with our coffee today. Our parting thought is this: remembering all that God has done in your life is essential for growing in your faith. And so I encourage you today in your worship, in your moments of meditation, in the quietness that you find yourself in today, reflect on and write down what God has brought you through, and give thanks for all that God has done. Okay, folks, that's our time together today. Monday is knocking at the door. We got to get out there and we got to get at it. And we need to make this last week in January a good day, a good week, as we get off to this brand new 2025 year. Folks, have a great day. See you again soon, and bye for now.